Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Bella Kitty. Thank you if you are new here, and thank you as well for those who are back for another video. Oh my God, 1 year in Merida is up on us, and I have been reflecting on what that's looked like for us. And I think one of the things I remember coming here, I don't know, it's kind of, it was like crazy because I came and I found my place. I arrived on Monday. I had my place on Tuesday. I signed my lease on Thursday. Then I went to a destination wedding and vacation and back to the States and was back like 2 weeks later with my baby and my dog into our unfurnished house, and a lot of things happening, right? So I will say the first 30 days, right? I want to talk about the first 30 days. What happens, right? You have these expectations, like the first thing you need to do is you need to find housing, and you need to figure out how to pay your bills and get food and all the essentials and the necessities, right? And that's what you're thinking about. But your body is like, I'm going to sleep, okay? When you get to Merida, I think the most realistic thing to do is give yourself 72 hours before you attempt to do anything. You are going to literally be tired. And I don't know where the tiredness comes from. I don't know if it comes from you spend so much time prepping and preparing prior to taking that flight, or some people drive in. I don't know if it's the mental impact of making it happen, because now it's really happening. I don't know what it is, but you're going to be tired, and your body is not. It's gonna ask you to lay down. Go lay down and take a rest, right? And you're gonna try to do things, and don't make a list of things to do, right? Don't even do that. Maybe do one thing, right? Do one thing, two things, but allow yourself that rest when you first get here, right? And I know we have all these expectations, people on scouting trip, and they're like, I want to see this, I want to see this. Okay, a scouting trip versus that move is completely different, right? Scouting trip, your body is still able to be like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. It's like you're in work mode. But then once you move, it's like your body just wants to shut down, and let yourself have that moment. I say give yourself at least 3 days, okay? At least 3 days of just relaxing, especially if you don't fly directly into Merida. If you don't fly directly into Merida and you go to Cancun and you take the audio here, baby, allow yourself to rest, okay? Because you just flew to Cancun and then you took the 3-4 hour bus ride here, and your brain had to figure all these things out. You have to understand your brain is registering another language, is registering new sights, new sounds, new smells. Allow yourself the rest, okay? The next thing you want to do is get oriented to your environment, right? One of the main questions that are asked in a lot of Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups is, what's the best area for me? Nobody can answer that for you. Nobody can answer that for you. We can say, well, I stay in this area and I love this because of this, this, and this. Or I stay in this area because I like this, this, and this. Nobody can answer that for you, right? So the next thing will be orientation, figuring out different areas. I know a lot of the YouTubers said to stay at different Airbnbs, and then after that, after you stay in different areas, different neighborhoods, then go from there and determine what you want. I'm gonna just be honest, your needs don't change. They won't change that much from the United States to here, okay? You know what type of neighborhood or community that you needed to be in. For example, I knew I needed somewhere that was close to convenience and shopping and the gym, and had like a park and open spaces, walkability. I knew that was what was most important for me. And then when I did my search, I looked for areas that met those needs. And then I narrowed it down from there. I didn't just be like, oh, well, I want to be this, or I don't want to be far out, and I don't want to be, everybody's like, oh, I want to live in Central. And then you go to live in life and you realize, I don't want to be in Central, or I want to live. I don't do that much stuff. I can live out in Chalul or Cancale, and then you get to Chalul or Cancale, and you're like, okay, actually, I do more than I said I don't do. Right? Be real with who you are. Be real with what your family needs are, and find an area that's going to meet those needs. Okay. So get oriented, go around to the different neighborhoods, find different things in different areas, and not just go to say what's popular in that area, not just the mall in that area or the popular food spot. Put your walking shoes on, walk around and see what's going on in the area. I know people have said this over and over and over, but it is literally the best advice given. In addition to, it's also gonna be another way for you to determine what the area is like, as well as what the houses are. And you may even find a house that's for rent in that area that you like, that you're walking through, okay? Then food, okay? I have 2 points on food. The first point is food in Merida is love it or hate it, okay? That it is what it is, right? Some people come here expecting a different type of cuisine. Yucatecan food, Mayan-based food, like it's different, okay? So either you love it or you hate it, all right? You can find different food, right? You have to shop around, figure out what you like, but food here may be challenging for you, okay? And if you don't want to have a life centered around ordering out, then you will have to think of things such as getting a place that has adequate cooking space, a grown-up refrigerator. Okay, like I have a refrigerator. It's a smaller refrigerator. I will be upgrading my refrigerator soon, but I have like a smaller refrigerator. Like, yes, it works. I grocery shop weekly, so it's not too bad. However, over the holidays, when I was like making cakes, I had leftovers, I hosted for Christmas, I needed more refrigerator space. Now, that's not all the time, but at least once or twice a month, I'm like, I just really need more refrigerator space. Just a little bit more. I just need a little bit more refrigerator space. So you'll want to look at those type of things, right? As well as food, okay? Whether you're picking up your food, excuse me, picking up your food or you're ordering your food, you will need to figure out what your food options are. I know a lot of the vegan, vegetarian types come here and you're like, I can't find anything, da 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 da, because they want to order a lot versus cooking, which is cool. I mean, I get it, honey. If I ain't have all these responsibilities, I might be a more order out kind of girl. Well, actually, no, I probably wouldn't. So I watch what I eat so I can, get fit. But these things are important when you're in your first 30 days, okay? I spent a lot, I wasted so much money on pizza, okay? My baby is a pizza baby, she loves pizza. And we tried every restaurant on Uber Eats. And baby, I'm telling you, sometimes it literally was a waste of 300 pesos. We would take one bite, put the pizza back in the box, and take the pizza box straight to the dump. Like, it was gross, okay, to us, okay? And we have found pizzas that we like. We've tried out probably all of the popular spots, and we have like our top 3 that we like, and it will take time, okay? So you will find yourself frustrated with food in the first 30 days. Now I have an air fryer. I make our meals. We eat out probably once a week, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. And those are the things that we have learned to adjust with. Food here is not going to be the same as food wherever you came from. Even if you came from another state in Mexico, baby, it's going to be different, I promise you. Money, all right. You have to change your mindset about money. You have to, okay? Everybody's like, oh, it's 100 pesos, oh, that ain't nothing. 300 pesos, that ain't nothing. Oh, 50 pesos, that ain't nothing. I promise you, you will find yourself spending so much money because it just seems like a little bit here and 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 a little bit here. But really, all of that's going to add up. especially if it's the Uber Eats, the Rappi, and any other delivery service. Because baby, you can get almost I think you can get everything delivered here. I can't think of something that I can't get delivered, or a house call, to include the vet as well as the doctor, medications, whatever. You can get everything delivered here. You can get your salon services in home, massages, and you can get everything in home. And it'll feel like not a lot of money. You're like, oh, 400 pesos, 300 pesos. And you'll be like, oh, that's $10, that's $20, that's $5. All of that's gonna add up. Be really conscious. One thing you'll want to do is learn the currency conversion. Okay, so you'll want to learn what 20 pesos is. That's $1 US if you come from the US. 20 pesos is $1 US. 100 pesos is $5 US. Okay, you want to learn what your major currencies are, as well as how to count your change. And another big thing that I see people doing is throwing their coins away. Okay, so the 10 cent, 50 cent, 1 peso, 2 peso, 5 peso, 10 peso, those are all coins, right? And in the States, people throw change away. I'm not that person, but people do it. And so when they get here, they don't want the 10 pesos or 5 pesos or 2 pesos or 1 peso, not realizing that's money. It's money. It's money. It's money in the States, but because it's a coin and you're so unfamiliar with holding on to the coins, people discard them. I have seen it happen. We were at the zoo the other day, and I saw a guy who was clearly not Mexican. He maybe was Canadian or American or something. And literally the woman gave him change, and he kept like the bill, and he just threw the peso coin on the ground. I was like, yeah, it happens. I mean, but it's crazy because here 10 pesos is like a bottle of water. So you wouldn't throw it on the ground, right? You would keep it, right? So just be cognizant of your money. Try to learn the conversion rate. Try to understand and be mindful of how you're spending your money. In addition, I want to say about money, everyone asks, well, how much pesos should I bring with me, right? You don't want to bring more than $10,000 because then you have to declare it, okay? But I will say this, right? You do want to bring as much as you can with you and request it from your bank if you can, right? And here's why. You will most likely have to pay your double deposit, your notary fee, your rent. A lot of those first initial things you'll have to pay with pesos, right? So figure out whatever your budget is for however much money you want your rent to be. And I would say multiply that by 5. For example, if you want we'll say 20,000 peso house, you want your rent to be 20,000 pesos a month. All right, take that and multiply it by 5. That'll be 100,000 pesos, or 5,000 US dollars, or roughly, give or take, depending on the day. Okay, I think I did it correctly. And with that, you will know how much you have. So when you get here, you can already set aside how much you'll need for your rent coming in, and then you'll have a little extra to spend, okay? And you'll know how much you'll have available, because there are some places that don't take cards. There are some places that only take pesos, but they don't take like the larger bills, or they don't have change for the larger bills. So you also want to be mindful in keeping those coins, okay? Because if something costs, say, 47 pesos, and you give this vendor a 500 peso note, they're gonna look at you like, what you want me to do with this? Huh? What you want me to do with this? Right? When you could simply give them either a 50 peso note, or you could give them 5 of those 10 peso coins and call it a day, okay? Because they don't have money like that, right? Because you have to look at the cost of living difference. So they won't have excessive change like that to be able to break 500 peso notes, or even 200 peso notes sometimes, okay? Expectations, all right? I don't say lower your expectations. Never lower your expectations in life or anything, okay? However, you will want to set realistic expectations. Yes, when I came here, I got here on Monday, found my place on Tuesday, signed my lease on Thursday, and went about my life. You may not be so lucky, okay? But again, it's going to depend on what your expectations are, your standards, your needs, your family size, your requirements are, okay? I'm not saying find you a shanty house and pay them 20,000 pesos. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to pay above market rate at any rate, okay? But what I am saying is don't come here thinking you're going to pay 10,000 pesos and get a 5-bedroom, 6-bath house with full completed pool and bar patio area. Like, it's not going to happen. At least not in Merida, it's not going to happen. You probably go way, way, way out and it might happen. But, you know, those things are not going to happen. And I know that a lot of the YouTubers come through and they tour these places. And sometimes I wonder if they're giving realistic values when they do it, because I'm looking around like, I don't know about that, right? But when you are looking at your budget and you're looking at what you need, be realistic with your expectations. Also, don't expect to immediately get here and everyone is just going to be available to hang out, go to lunch, show you around, things like that, because everyone's still living their life. And I know a lot of people have like, oh, I'm here, it's my first day. Like, let's link up. Okay, you got here on a Tuesday. You know, you got here on Monday, it's Tuesday now. All right, I already had a whole day planned, right? I already had a whole day planned. I have responsibilities. I got a doctor's appointment. I got this, I got that. Everybody has things going on. So don't get here and immediately get discouraged because you can't immediately make those connections. Give it time, allow it to happen naturally, allow it to organically take place, okay? And that leads me into community, right? After you give yourself that break and you start to get settled in more and going around, try to find events that are happening in the area, okay? Within Facebook groups, look at, you know, WhatsApp groups, just look around. I don't know, just type in Merida, you know, in the search bar on Facebook or something, and see what's going on and allow yourself the opportunity to get out. The more you walk around your neighborhood, Centro, whatever it is, you will find things. Always Ubering, always getting from your door to the next door. Yeah, it's safe, it feels natural. However, you need to walk around because that's where you're going to find all those little things that are going to help you be successful on the way, and you're also going to bump into other people. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people here speak English, honey. I mean, amazing English. They'll be like, oh, my English isn't so great. I'm like, what's wrong with it? Like, tell me what's wrong with it. It's probably better than some of my broken English, right? And you'll be able to meet people by going out and actually going into shops and bumping into people, doing things just like you would organically at home. So don't depend on Facebook groups to give you your community. Go out and build it, okay? Slowly. It's not gonna happen overnight, but slowly go out. Some days you'll go out, you may not meet somebody that you like, and one day you might go out and you might bump into a whole group of people and they're just like, oh, hey, what are you doing? Let's do this, da-da-da-da. Come with us to lunch, da-da-da-da. You never know what's gonna happen, but you'll have to get out. Do not stay holed up in your Airbnb or your house when you get it and just sitting there waiting on something magical to happen, okay? Because in the first 30 days, it's gonna be a little stressful, right? Especially if you do an unfurnished place, right? I think I might make a video completely separate on unfurnished places. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section if that's something you would like for me to do. But when you're getting here, you have to be patient with deliveries. You have to be very, very patient with deliveries, okay? You have to be patient with service providers here. If they say they're gonna come on Tuesday at 10. That means somewhere between 10-ish to 2, okay? That's just what it means. It is what it is. I've come to accept it at this point. You may not even get the service that day. So it just depends, okay? It really just depends. You're not gonna get that prompt service every single time. Some people say they're gonna come at 10 and it's 9:45 and at your gate, like tapping like, hey, I'm here. But a lot of times it's going to be delayed. Amazon package delivery is great here. However, it may say it's going to arrive on Wednesday and it shows up on Tuesday. It might say it's going to show up on Wednesday and it doesn't get there till Thursday. It might be imported coming from the States and might get held up a day or two extra in customs. You don't know. Just have to be flexible if you're ordering things that maybe need importing, or you can also have your Amazon packages delivered to a locker or a local store near you. That's what a lot of people do if it's something that they don't feel comfortable asking for Amazon to just toss over the gate or leave for them. And the very last thing I want to say is respecting the culture, right? Coming in from the US, you're going to notice that things are a lot slower. And you're also going to notice that people take their time. It is not rush, 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 rush. So if you're coming from a place like LA or Houston or New York or Miami or any of the major metropolitan areas, you're going to have to take a step back and slow down. No one is going to immediately get things done the way you expect them to. They're not going to compromise their families over you. They're not coming on Sunday in most cases. And you're going to have to be okay with that. And you're gonna have to respect that that is the cultural norm here. I highly encourage you to adopt some of those things, honey. Like, I truly, truly love it. Like, the respect for family here is through the roof, right? Family is everything here. And I think that's one of the things that we have to reframe our minds on. And it's a good thing, in my opinion, like for you to just go ahead and accept that things are not going to be on point, on site instantly. You're not going to be able to, people aren't going to be open late night on holidays, things like that. I mean, everything was shut down New Year's Eve by 8 o'clock and was kind of sort of up and running by 9, 10 the next day. Even if places were open on New Year's, a lot of places were closed. So that's just the thing. Like, the family here is such a big thing. They are not asking people to be away from their families all nights, all weekends, and on the holidays, okay? So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. Until the next one, bye.